Just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's first and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Lance Kendricks from 8 yards out, and the Packers add 6 to their lead.
Well, that was not quite the holy roller, partner. That was San Diego, Oakland. You might remember that in 1978, right? Kenny Stabler, forward fumble. Dave Casper falls on the end zone. Oakland beats him on the last play of the game. But that was a live football. And what a nice job he did to fall on in the end zone. And yes, indeed, folks, that's a touchdown.
By the way, John Madden was coaching in that holy roller game, wasn't he?
He certainly was, and he wanted to make sure that the call went his team's way, was out on the field and was told, yes, it's a touchdown. Now get back on the sidelines.
This fielded at the 2. Spins past it. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now Sims. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on third and a tough 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they do.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Taken in at the 11. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Rodgers now on first down. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. And got his man complete. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Rodgers to throw on second down.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hands, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. They'll run here with Sims. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion. When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And, boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
That's fielded in the end zone. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When when you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Going for the deep ball. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Remain here in the 1st half. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
They'll run forward with Montgomery. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Ty Montgomery taking it in from a yard out. And the Packers add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 40. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Wentz now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Clay Matthews, the outside linebacker, drops him for a loss of 6. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. The final shot before half for Rodgers. Flushed out right. Looking deep for Adams. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Sims. And now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Wentz now to throw. And he connects with Ertz. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great...
And this is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, 50 yards. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. Well, so much for a little 5-yard pass play to your tight end. They made him a deep ball threat there, and it worked out.
Times have changed, haven't they? Those used to be plays that we would clip and save because you didn't see it very often. Big tight end, deep downfield catching a pass. Now it's almost standard. That's a big part of everyone's offense. Get it to those guys because they're not just tight ends anymore. They're athletes.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Rodgers now on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football.
He's got a man. Complete. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams 78 yards. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And this is going to be caught. And how about that? Even after snapping it from back there, they still convert for the 2 points. Crosby on now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that's caught by Smith. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Wentz now on 1st down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll run here with Pumphrey, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the 1st down yardage there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Throwing is Wentz. And that is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, it can be a thankless job sometimes, but they'll be thanking their kicker here. That's now 4 field goals for him. He's kept them in the game.
He sure has, but this offense is going to need to find its rhythm because it's going to take more than field goals to win this football game.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He completes it to Nelson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. A great move by Montgomery. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Packers add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board, But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They go play action here on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, it's like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game. That punter, he must be pretty lonely over there on the sideline thinking, why in the world was my number not called there?
As far as he's concerned, the check will still cash, right? It is your choice not to use me in this situation. But I also look at it this way. You know, some coaches are more aggressive than others. They just want to take care of the football, have the ball on offense, and go at it that way. So a very interesting call, but he wants to take care of the ball himself.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
You can do one of two things after a penalty. You can hang your head, or you can get mad and redouble your efforts. And I think we just saw the latter there as they stopped him for no gain.
They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff as they run left side. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Now Wentz. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards, and we'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
It's caught here by Adams. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Escape. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. On the ground, the drive starts with Sims. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now Wentz throwing on second down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Wentz going to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Throwing now is Wentz. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up fourth down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And right now they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a two-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about what they do on offense. So most teams want to stay in attack mode, but you have to do it with some bit of caution, don't you? Because you can't come away with no points. You need these points here in order to feel a lot better about where they are in this game.
But this time of the year, playoffs, game of this magnitude, this is what we hope for.
Yeah, it's exactly what we hope for. You want to run your offense cautiously, but not so cautiously that you just give it up.
23 yards on the play. And now a first down following that long gain. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden They heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. And some space here. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a second down. 3 yards remaining here on second down. A handoff as they run the counter play. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop him here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. Now he'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover. This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will bump the lead up to 11. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
Just fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily The coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. First down now, but the clock continues to move. On first down, Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Again, it's Wentz. A dump off to Sims. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And with 45 seconds showing, he spikes the football. So 2nd and 10 here. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
The guilty party chants Warmack, the guard out of Alabama. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. Now Wentz again. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. Yeah, he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it's a drive that ends in 3, and I know that that line sounds familiar. It's because I've said it 7 times now, and that leaves him 1 short of the NFL record of 8 field goals in 1 game.
It has been a lot of settling for 3. But I tell you what, it's nice to know that you have someone this reliable to turn to.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Only 1 timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have 1 timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch, not at all.
And they take a knee. On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. This to make it a 2-score game. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And what a ride it has been. NFC champs, they have punched their ticket to the biggest show in sports.
And what a way to get there, to go the entire season and then play for the right to go to the Super Bowl and the right to call themselves NFC champs. Elation has to abound.